Right. Yes, so we were discussing the difference between pass out and graduate. Pass out, as I already mentioned, is used in a very specific context. It is used by Britishers of students who pass out of a military school or a police school. In all other cases, only the word graduate is used. Moreover, by using the word pass out, we can cause a sense of ambiguity if an American is listening to us, because in the American context, pass out means fall unconscious after a lot of hard drink. But graduate is the better word. Now, coming to the next one, we shall discuss photosynthesis and we shall discuss about photosynthesis. Discuss is a verb that doesn't carry anything like any preposition after it. It directly is followed by the topic that you want to discuss. So we cannot say, I want to discuss about something. I want to discuss that something. You need to term it, you need to name it without using the preposition. Next, coming to the third set of sentences, when you're using a card, you can say I am paying by card. But then when you're using cash, then there is no buy required, because you paid cash. It's not buy cash. I mean, buy is generally used for a tool that you use in order to pay cash. Then you use the word buy. Otherwise, no. In the next example, we have, I had a head bath and I washed my hair. This happens because we generally think in our mother tongue and we literally translate the words there. Now, in the Tamil language, you can say, "Naan tala kuliche." Tala kuliche, for I washed my hair. But if you literally translate it, tala kuliche is head bath. If it is an Englishman trying to learn Tamil, he uses I washed my hair na mudi kalune. Very weird, right? It looks very funny. So this is one area where we need to understand, it is not our mistake. It is not that we don't know the language, but it is because we have not listened to enough of the language for the language to be absorbed into our system. That is important. So listen to more English, read more English, then this literal translation will not be necessary. It will just come as you hear it, as you have absorbed the language. I am reading newspaper every day. So this is a habitual action, like the sun rises every day. For every habitual action, you use the simple present tense, rises, read. Am reading is only like, it is a continuous action and it is not habitual. Then you use present continuous tense, I am reading the newspaper today. All right, not habitual. I read the newspaper every day, habitual. So for a habitual action, simple present tense, and for a continuous action which is not habitual, you use the present continuous tense. Now, I thought of discussing something with you when which I found my students generally have a misconception about. My students generally have a misconception about this word, abbreviation and acronym. Like somebody told me, abbreviation is a short form and it is old fashioned. And acronym is also a short form, but it is fashionable. I mean, that's not true. You understand? This is some weird concept that I heard from one of my students. So I thought I should bring this difference or variation in front of a teacher community like you, so that the correct information goes to the students. Abbreviation is like a large set. It's like a large set. And acronym is like a subset, a smaller version of an abbreviation, or it is like a baby of an abbreviation, or one category of an abbreviation. So what are the types of abbreviations that we have? We have these types of abbreviations. We have shortenings, contractions, initialisms, and acronyms. Let us see each of these types so we understand what is the difference. Shortenings are like this. You take the first few letters of the word and you cut out the rest. App for application, ad for advertisement, prof for professor. So you've taken the first part of the word and you cut out the latter part. That is a shortening. Let's see the next one, contractions. You've not taken the first part, but you've taken the first letter and the last letter. And in the for doctor, for limited, you've taken L and T from the center and D from the end. So you've missed out words in the middle. Sorry, not words, letters in the middle. So when you miss out letters in the middle, it is a contraction. When you miss out letters towards the end, it is a shortening. This is the difference between shortening and contraction. You have examples like feet and don't for do not. Initialism is like this. You use BA for Bachelor of Arts, BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation. What are we doing? We are taking the first letter of every word and that is the abbreviation. But that type of abbreviation is called an initialism. Why initialism? Because you are taking the initial of the first letter of the word and you are using it as an initial. Now coming to our much awaited acronym. Acronym is also an abbreviation. If you see, I've done the same thing like initialism. AIDS is acquired immune deficiency syndrome. The first letters are taken. Even for NASA, the first letters NASA are taken. But then what is the difference between an initialism and an acronym? When you are talking about initialisms, you don't say BA as BA. You don't say UN as UN. You don't use it as a word. You say those words, those letters separately. But in the case of an acronym, the initialism is spelled as spoken as a single word. You don't say AIDS, you say AIDS, you say NASA, you say UNESCO. You don't spell out every letter. That is the difference between an initialism and an acronym is a type of an abbreviation.
Preeti, how are you?
Yes, madam, is this Madam Sujata?
Yeah, how are
Madam,
you?
I am good, ma'am. How are you? I am so excited and thrilled to hear you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, please switch on your video, ma'am. We would like to see you. Ma'am, good evening. Jay Shri here, ma'am. Please switch on your video.
Sure.
Ma'am, thank you for giving me a chance to connect with Kaveri College once again. It is a really very valuable experience for me, ma'am. It is a huge part of my life and learning experience I got from Kaveri College. And a huge congratulations to you, ma'am, for the A grade for the third time and for acquiring the autonomous status. It is a huge achievement and it speaks about the dedication of a leader like you and the dedication of the staff members and the management as well. My sincere congratulations to you, madam. I think we've lost connection, maybe audio connection with ma'am, I think.
Yeah, maybe. She has muted her mic. Probably she'll come in again. We could hear her voice. Anyway, we'll continue. Yes. As soon as she comes, maybe you will have to repeat. Yes. We'll continue.
Acha, Jayashree, I'd like to
Yes.
ask you here if there is anything that the participants would like to ask me.
Yeah, I think we'll have a questioner at the end, last 5 minutes.
I am done with the slides.
Okay, fine. Then we'll move over to the questioning session. Dr. Prema Joshua and Suganti, please moderate, and you could ask the participants to raise questions and clarifications. And yes.
Yes, Preeti, I would like to.
Prema, your voice is very faint. I can't hear you well. Can you hear me, Prema?
Dr.
Jayashree?
Prema, please unmute your mic. Suganti, unmute your mic and ask the questions. Moderate the session, please. Your voice is not audible, Suganti. Please be loud. Okay, it's open to the participants. I think we are not able to get in touch with Suganti and Dr. Prema. Participants, it's an open forum now for you. You can raise your hands or you can type your questions in the chat box. You can type your questions or you can raise your hand and then you can unmute and ask your question.
Preeti, can you hear me now?
Yes, I
Yes,
can.
yes.
Preeti, yes?
Yeah,
Yes,
I can hear you.
Moderate the session, seeing the chat box. I request the participants to put your queries on the chat box. Dr. Prema can read out the questions and Dr. Preeti can answer. I think in that way it will go a little smoother.
Yeah. I have 13 chats.
Yeah, the question is this.
Yeah.
Preeti?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Yeah. This is a general mistake people commit, like, na phone la pesne. Now, how do they translate or they speak in English? I have 4 options.
Yes.
I talked to him on the phone. I had a chat with him over the phone.
Right.
I spoke to him by phone.
Okay.
But they say all 3 are correct, but with the context. Can you explain the context so that the participant might understand?
Yes. Why do we use the word over? Because like I have a mic here and I'm speaking over it, something above it. You have the phone here below your mouth and your mouth is over it. I spoke to her over the phone. It is a direct placing of the two. I spoke to her on the phone is also right. See, let me tell you here, when you say na phone le pesne, le is in. I spoke to her in the phone. You can't get into it. But on the phone, you're of course not sitting on it, but then your mouth is on it, your mouth is over it. So both on and over signify a position above. So both in that case are right. Can you say the next one? Can you repeat the third option, Miss Prema? Prema, can you repeat the third option that you just mentioned?
No, Dr. Prema, your voice is breaking, Dr. Prema.
Yeah, but as Miss Prema mentioned, all the 3 options are right. I have a question here from Mr. Jagir Hussain, who says, what is the difference between the use of did not and didn't? Both are the same. When you are shortening it, as I told you, it is a contraction. I mentioned the types of abbreviation. The second type was a contraction. Didn't is a contraction. It is generally used when you are in the speaking it. And even, yeah, in the conversational tone. But when you are writing it, like when you want to be making a report, then you don't use contractions. You use the full form of it. You use did not. So that is the difference in the spoken context. And when you are writing something in quotation marks, then you can use didn't. But when you're making something very official like a report or something, then you cannot use short forms or contractions like didn't. Then you have to write did not. Yes, yes. I have another question from Senda who says, can you explain the difference between look, see and watch? See, when you say, let us say you're before the television, all right? When something is going on the television, you are not looking at the television set, but you're looking at something that is going on. That means you are watching it. But when you say see or look at, I'm looking at the television, that means it's switched off mode and you're just looking at the model maybe. I want to see your television. Again, I just want to look at the model. That is the difference between look at and see on one side, wherein the picture that is going on is not important. But the frame of the TV, the make of the TV and the TV as a hardware is important. But when you're watching something, what is showing on the TV, what is telecasting on the TV is important. And that has your focus, that has your attention. That's the difference between that.
Okay, before you move on to the next question, Dr. Parveen Banu has told, has conveyed through this chat that she's very glad to see you, and it's an excellent and informative session. She remembers you very fondly.
Thank you.
I
remember you all. I am super excited. You can see from my face, like I have one more question.
One more question.
From Radhika, I have a question. What's the difference between homonyms, homophones, and homographs? See, phones comes from the word phono. Phono means sound. Sound, the two words have the same sound, but they mean differently. Like S-U-N and S-O-N, sun. From the context, you can find out. I'm sorry, I'm talking about homonyms. Homophones are words like have the same word, but same spelling, but different meaning. Even the sound is the same. Like for example, let me give you an example. Like the word, huh?
Dear, D-E-A-R.
Yeah. Right.
D-E-R. Yeah.
Yes. So dear could mean costly. Like vegetables, the prices of vegetables are so high, so you can say the vegetables are dear. That means costly in the context. According to the context, you can say they have become expensive. But when I say dear Jayashree or dear madam, that means the person is, you are addressing the person with love. And when you talk about homographs, graphs again means that the spellings are different. You understand? The spellings are different, but the sound or the sound of the word is the same.
Okay. Dr. Savitri has come online. She's asking you whether you remember her, and she's appreciating you that it was an excellent session, and she wants some more. I can see some messages.
Yeah, I am excited to read all the messages here. I'm just trying to see if there's any question that I've missed out or what. Yeah. Yes, I have another question here from Dr. Jamil, who asks me, there is British and American accents, which scent, I think he means accent should be used. So it is always preferred that we follow the British over the American. Let me explain to you here why. I'd like to tell you here that why we value the British pronunciation or accent over the American. I'd first like to mute the participants here because I can hear some background sound. Yes, I'd like to answer this question here that English is the origin of Britishers, and America is a country that has been formed by the mixture of people from different cultures. There are there was this America discovered by Amerigo Vespucci, and there were many people from many nations who left their country in order to stay in that new place or that newly discovered place. And their English is a mix of so many other countries whose mother tongue influence is there. So that is why we don't keep the American English as something that we need to follow, because that's a mixed version of English, and that also has many slangs. But when you talk about a Britisher's English, they are the original speakers of English. And that's why when you read a phonetic dictionary, I suggest you choose the British version over the American version. That is it. Yes, Mr. Jagir Hussain, I would like to also come in for another webinar, and I have a lot of material. English is such a huge and vast language. It's such a vast language, and there's so much that we can speak. And of course, I would love to join another webinar like this. Thank you for your comment. Is there any other question? Anything else you want me to talk about? Culture reflects in the language. As I gave you the example of uncle, and there are also many examples wherein what we give importance to in our culture actually reflects in our language. I gave you the example of uncle, but we are very specific about which uncle, like what is the exact relationship, and that we can find out in our language, our Indian languages. That is the explanation I gave for the word cousin, wherein cousin is a common word, but whether it is a male or a female, we want to know, because we want to be specific. It shows our mental programming of being specific about relationships and not casual about it. So it is a culture reflection in our language. You're right.
Preeti?
Yes.
Chitra wants to know something about on zero articles, where we should not use articles.
Yes,
Few
yes.
examples. Few examples.
Okay. You have here, I like ice cream. I bought an ice cream. Give me the ice cream that is there in your hand. These are three sentences I've given here. I like ice cream, general. No article, so zero article. I purchased, I got an ice cream as a gift. So I got a box of ice cream, or I got a cone of ice cream. I can use the singular form a or an. An actually, because it is a vowel. And then give me the ice cream that you are holding right now, because it is a specific flavor or a specific cone or a specific box or a specific brand that you are holding. And that's why I use the specific article the. So when you're speaking general, all right, I have another example that comes to my mind. I went to school today. It has zero article. I have not used any article before school. It means generally the school that I go to teach, or I go to learn. But if I say I'm going to the school to get my degree certificate, to get my transfer certificate. So you're going to school not for the regular purpose of studying or teaching, but you're going for some other purpose. Then you use the. You understand? Like the same way same difference goes in for I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed means I'm going to sleep. That's what we mean, because that's the general action that happens. Like you go to sleep on bed. So I'm going to bed. But if you say I'm going to the bed to pick up your toy, so not for the general purpose, but for a specific purpose, you use the. Otherwise, it is a zero article. Let me go to let me go to the church today to meet the pastor. So not for the general purpose of praying, but to meet somebody for a specific reason. That's the difference.
That's the place of worship and institutions. They don't have an article.
Yes, they don't have an article, especially if you are going there for the general purpose that you generally go in for.
That's what.
But if you're going in for some other purpose, for a specific purpose, then the article has to be used. Yes.
There's another question from Esther Rani. She says she has a doubt on the use of the word various. She says various colors. Various itself means many. So
Yes,
various
yes.
colors. Colors is a plural form.
Yes,
So various colors.
All right.
She wants
Actually,
you to explain.
Listen here. There are certain words that already have a preposition ingrained in it. Like, for example, we had a sentence on discuss. And I said, when you use discuss, you don't use about. Let me give you further explanation on that. It is because discuss is equal to talk plus about. I want to talk about. The same way you have another word, comprises. This book comprises 3 chapters. What is the meaning of comprises? Consists of. But sometimes students use it as comprises of 3 chapters, which is wrong. Because if you use of, you're already having an of in comprises. It becomes a redundancy. So it becomes a repetition of the preposition. When you say various, it means many. You need to use a plural colors because colors is like many. It's a plural. So various colors is the right usage. It is a right phraseology. Varied colors also is right. So varied and various both mean different types. And you have to use it with a plural. The word that follows has to be a plural noun.
Preeti, now, generally they say, supposing Preeti Vaswani, professor of English, not professor in English. Why is it? They want to know the difference. Not in English, but of English.
When you graduate in a subject, you say, I graduated in English. But when you are not a learner, you are a teacher, you say, I am a professor of English. The role changes.
Okay.
That's why. The preposition also changes.
Somebody wants to know the difference between me and I. Me and I. That is the subject pronoun and the object pronoun. That is where we go wrong sometimes.
Yes. So when it is the subject, you use I. When it is the object, you use me. Please tell me what to do. I will tell you what to do. So me signifies the object and I signifies the subject. We are going to be, I think, automatically logged out in the next 8 minutes. I think so.
Is there any more queries from the participants?
We could have a few concluding remarks, Dr. Prema. You could just sum up, and that itself would take some time. Maybe a few more senior faculty, Ms. Uma Maheshwari, Dr. Rita, Dr. Urmila. Maybe you could take some turns and you can just share your experience here.
Are they there? Rita is there?
I saw her at the beginning of the meet.
Can you unmute yourself, Miss Rita, Miss Urmila, to speak to me, please?
Let's not waste the time, Jayashree.
Okay, I think we could propose a formal vote of thanks.
No, are you giving any feedback, Jayashree? I'll go for the vote of thanks. I'll go for the vote of thanks.
Yes, of course, you sum up.
Yeah,
There's nobody wanting to say anything more?
Preeti.
Yes.
That's what. Lots more we want, but we cannot. No, the time is that limited. But we are fortunate to have you here. So far away you are, and still we can feel you so close.
Yes, yes.
Yes, like Professor Zakir or whoever, he wanted you to come back with few more lessons.
Yes.
I think we can plan one.
Yes.
And Jayashree can do that.
Yes, I am on
Jayashree,
it.
I'll go for the. Yes, Jayashree,
Yes,
I'll go for the vote of
definitely.
thanks. Yes.
Yes, yes, please.
Yes. Happy and privileged to propose the vote of thanks in a scheduled Zoom meeting, a webinar for staff on enhance your communication skills. Bruce Barton quoted, I'm quoting, talkers have always ruled. They continue to rule. The smart thing is to join them. Talkers are the communicators. Dr. Preeti is an effective communicator, and that's the reason behind her incredible success over the period of time. On behalf of the coordinators, organizers, and participants of this program, I would like to say that you did a commendable job of clearing the cloud of doubt in the correct usage of vocabulary and grammar that remained an obstacle in the way of effective communication. I thank profusely the management and Madam Principal for leaving no stone unturned to view this lockdown period a blessing in disguise to explore the unexplored digital world for teaching and learning. I extend my gratitude to Dr. Urmila and Dr. S. Jayashree Agarwal, PG and UG Head Department of English, respectively, for the initiatives taken, their guidance and support. I thank Ms. Esther and Ms. Irde Pushpam, Aurora Club in charges for organizing this faculty development program. I thank the staff members of the Department of English for clarifying the doubts and queries on vocabulary and grammar through telephonic conversation to the members of the other departments on 2nd May. I thank all the participants in this live session now. I thank one and all once again for their virtual presence. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I am extremely pleased and glad to be here.
Yes, a special thank you to Dr. Prema Joshua and Dr. Sugandhi Rao for compiling the entire the Google Forms, approximately 40 questions they both compiled, and it was done by Jasima Nilofer, a young, very young and very dynamic new faculty we have, and the entire bunch who has joined us from 6 to 7 faculty are very, very active. They're doing a lot of, what should I say, updated technological feeds, and they're coming up with lots of ideas, and not only the entire department, we are 38 in number. We are a great mix of experience, and the young Turks are also rocking, and so I'm really happy, and I would especially like to convey my congratulations to the entire department and all the other faculties who have joined us from other departments and other colleges. A big thank you to all, and thank you, Dr. Preeti. I think we shall all exit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll make this recording available.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Preeti.
Thank you so much.
everybody.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
so much.
Bye.
Thanks.